Welcome to the Jeff Crilley Show. And now, here's Jeff Crilley.
Good Saturday morning, DFW. It's a great day. You would never know it was January. Just a beautiful day outside. We've got a jam-packed show today. Babysitting, hiring a babysitter is never going to be the same after you listen to this segment coming up. The doctor will see you now on your iPad. We'll explain. But we're going to start with networking groups in Dallas. And I can tell you that networking groups come and go. And to have a group around for 30 years is absolutely amazing. My first guest is Bill Wallace and Jan Klodner with Success North Dallas. Gentlemen, welcome to the Jeff Crilley Show.
Good morning, Jeff.
Okay, Ronald Reagan was president when you started this.
1988, actually.
That's amazing. Okay, so tell us about Success North Dallas.
Well, 1988, I was in the insurance business, and I had two mentors, still have one of them, Roger Meyer, who's the largest Cadillac dealer in the U.S. at that time, and he's no longer with us, but his son is mayor of Addison, and then Herb Kelleher, Southwest Airlines, who I met through the founding of the Ronald McDonald House. And they told me I needed something to set myself apart from the herd. In fact, Herb said, there's 4,553 of you in Dallas. Why should I do business with you, being in the insurance business? So I looked at what people did not like in networking. Pitch bookers, people carrying around the pitches, card pushers, selling of wares in the room, paying of speakers because they think they own the podium. And that's not really the case, but that back then it really was. And then there was the last one, women. It just was not cool to have women in networking back then. It was viewed as a deterrent. Well, if you look at what you really are trying to accomplish, you're trying to be disruptive. You're trying to set yourself apart from the herd, literally. So we made a taboo. It's a Buddhist word called sadhana, a taboo against what makes one feel uncomfortable of all of the things that people did not like in networking, except women. And Herb looked at me and he said, you're going to have a big problem. I said, I know I'm going to have a really big problem because we're going to be 30% women from day one. And I submit to you, that's why 27 years plus later, we are still here. That's at least 50% of the reason. 3 of the 5 founders of NABO, American Idol, Pinnacle, various others have all been part of this group along the years. Our members, 77 companies, 6 Ernst & Young Entrepreneurs of the Year, 1,000 jobs, 2 nonprofits, and 85 of us. Well, literally, we mentor juniors to doctoral candidates. And I think that one of the most important things of what we do, our coin of the realm, it's not it's not card pushing. It's not card pushers are eliminated. We don't want them. It's relationships. Our coin of the realm is relationship building. And our people police the room themselves. They love it. We love it. We'll have 200 people every month. And a big thank you to you for the long time that you and Chris have participated with videoing our speakers beforehand.
Thank you.
I've had speakers tell me that in fact, Chris Kennedy, I've been interviewed all over the world. I've never been so interviewed by somebody so thoroughly prepared and able to get it done in the short amount of time that you do.
Thank you very much.
So it's kind of turned out to be a double, triple win all along.
Well,
going out into the community.
Let's bring Jan into this. Jan, you visit the 3rd meeting. Is that right? So we're going way back into 88.
Way back when we first had the meetings over at the Landmark Club. And we were playing racquetball together there, and Bill invited me to one of his meetings, which I thought, whoa, this would be interesting. And it was very interesting, and 27 years later, I think I've missed a couple of meetings for vacation, surgeries, whatever. But
not acceptable. Wait, you have to attend all the meetings, Jan.
But Bill and I have worked this for a long time, and I handle the website and the announcements and things like that, and kind of behind the scenes, but.
Well, and it's I'm just blown away by the quality of people who have been on your behind the podium. Bill, just run through kind of who's who over the last 30 years.
Oh, in the last year, in June, we had Dr. Ben Carson, presidential candidate. I have to make a statement about him. I said, well, we don't pay speakers or expenses, but we'll find a way to help you. He said, absolutely not. I'm not going to violate the tenets of this organization. He flew in, as many of our speakers have done. Our January speaker flew in from New York on Tuesday night, spoke, left on Wednesday morning. They pay all their own expenses, but founder of Manning Napier, a boutique investment management firm. Kerry Claiborne represents them here. Their CEO spoke in January. They manage Mary Kay's money, Southwest, TCU, City of Fort Worth. Our December speaker, Jeff Hazlett, the Kodak Apprentice, $35,000 a pop speaker who speaks all over the world. Craig Hall said, "Would you speak on the arts?" He said, "Oh, never. No one's asked. They always want me to speak on real estate. We try to do something a little bit different."
Who would you say is the most famous speaker you've had in 30 years? If you had to name one.
Oh my, that's
a tough one.
That's tough. The most famous speaker we've had, one of the most unique was the head of Scotland Yard.
Wow.
One of the most interesting was Chris Kennedy Lawford, who told his story of addiction. And I have a Republican leanings, I have to admit that, and I didn't ever imagine I'd have a Kennedy on my program. But when I said to him, I said, "So tell me about this road to addiction." We were having dinner at the Petroleum Club. And he said, "My road to addiction started when I was born. Back then, women stayed in the hospital 3 to 5 days. On the way home from the hospital, my parents stopped at the favorite watering hole, the Beachcomber, and got tanked. My 21st birthday party was held at the Playboy Mansion. My gift from my father was a vial of cocaine, which we shared." And I said, "How did this road to addiction stop?" And he said, "When my 24-year-old daughter became an addict." I looked at the guy and I said, "When are you speaking?"
Wow.
And it was probably one of the best.
One of the most powerful.
It was. And we had people stand up that had never admitted to addiction afterwards, just on a whim. Anybody would like to stand up and say, "I can help talk to somebody." There were 2 people in that room that I'd known for over 5 years that I never knew anything about. There's a magic in this room. There truly is, because our basically our qualifications for membership are not what do you do, it's who you are. Be a success in your own eyes. Jan and I have no right to define what success is. Honor your commitments. Let's go back to the handshake and be a giver. That's what it's really all about. And we go out in the community and we partner with community organizations, of which Jan is our representative at probably the organization. Well, my favorite meeting of the year is coming up in February. And it's an organization we partnered with and have for the last 14 years. And Jan, talk a little bit about it. Talk a little bit about
Well,
it.
let me tell you, you asked Bill how he gets his speakers. Well, he got me involved in the Dallas Community Police Awards Committee in the same way. He says, "Hey, come to lunch with me." So I came to a luncheon meeting at the Oak Cliff Lions Club, and it was an awards for the Dallas Community Police Awards Association, which Bill was involved with at the time. And I thought that was very nice. And he starts introducing me as the next person that's going to be our representative to the Dallas Community Police Awards. So 7 years later, I'm the treasurer of the organization now. And the Dallas Community Police Awards Association began somewhere in the 70s. And it was a group of civic organizations that would randomly pick an officer of the year or officer of the month. And the Community Police Awards Association brought it all together. And we've now probably given over 500 Officer of the Month awards.
Wow.
And we host a luncheon, breakfast, dinner, some kind of event each month to present that. And then out of the 12 officers that we select out of the profiles, for every year we select an Officer of the Year, which will be held February 17th at Success North Dallas. And it's always a great event.
My guests again, Bill Wallace and Jan Klodner from Success North Dallas. The website is successnorthdallas.com. Tell people about, is it open to the public? Can anybody show up? Do they have to register?
We require registration, and very simply go to our website, sign up for the emails, and then register for the meeting. All first-time guests are welcome and free, but after you've attended one time, we do ask that you join. Dues are not that expensive. It's a matter of commitment. We want people that commit to being in the room. And you asked me about favorite speakers. I've come up with 2 that have been really special.
Okay.
Colleen Barrett calls and says, or emails and says, "Is your podium open in March?" I don't know. It depends on who the speaker is. XOXO comes back, "It's me, my new book."
Wow.
So go back, say, "Okay." guy named Jeff Crilley called up and said, I've been told if I want to publish a book in Dallas, I need to know you. And that led to a long-time friendship that we've had. So that would be a favorite. And then Norm Brinker. Norm Brinker, to the first Steak and Ale, I worked with Norm, or he'd fire you for saying that. You had to show him your transcript and say you worked with him, not for him. Mm. And when he spoke, I was just starting Wallace Financial Group, and we were going to mention it at the end of the meeting. And so he starts the meeting out. There's great news today, and he starts talking about my new company. It's supposed to have been at the end of the meeting or not even in it, and he changes the whole presence to turning it into a celebration, as he always did, about someone else. And then the founder of La Madeleine, Patrick Escaray, made a statement when asked, how do you do this? How do you take care of your customers the way you do? He said, I listen to them. Then I adapt to what they say, and then I surprise them with great fervor. Wow. That's why there's a La Madeleine, and that's why there's a Success North Dallas.
You're absolutely right. There is a magic in that room. I think it's the quality of people that you attract, the speakers, but it's one of those things that it just I've never run across a networking group like yours.
And it's also amazing. Many of the individuals that are members of our group will they'll meet other people, and it's not about them. It's about, hey, you need to meet this other person I just met. You guys get together. So it's connecting people. And now we're connecting businesses as well.
Let's talk about kind of the secrets to great networking. I think about Zig Ziglar, who said, you can have anything you want if you help others get what they want first. Mm-hmm.
It's really not about what you say, who you are. It's about how much you care. That then in turn brings it back. If you look at what networking really is, in so many people's eyes, it's the trading of a business card, meeting a person. And the chances of one or both of those business cards going in the trash can are probably 75%. Taking the time a little bit afterwards and just having a short conversation. I'm not talking 5 minutes. I'm talking 2 or 3 minutes about, well, tell me, one of the favorite things when I meet somebody, who is Jeff Crilley? Would be my question back to you if we just met. I'd love to hear about you. Very seldom about me. I have not handed out a business card in 15 years without asking permission first, even if I have been asked for that card. Mm. So you look back, the first step is the trade of the card, perhaps, or the trade of the name. But the next step is that bonding to where then you're blending your two networks together. 1 + 1 does not equal 2. It equals exponentially 3+. When you start bonding your networks together and sharing your networks. And then finally, it transforms into what I would call servant leadership, although sometimes a catchword or a cliche, it's really not. It's leading with how can I help, and that's much like saying, who is Jeff Crilley? How can I help? Well, the first way I can help is to let you talk about who's most important to you. And I listen, keep my mouth shut, and then I simply respond by, I'd like to hear more.
Wow.
Or you need to meet so-and-so. In the case of the community, reaching out into the community. Yesterday I spoke to an incredible community organization, the Family Place. And it was more about the magic of connecting, putting two people together and stepping back and watching the magic happen. As they're talking about doing some expansion, doing various other things. And that was what the whole retreat was about, and I had the opportunity to be there. Jan with the Dallas Community Police Awards, and then we partner with the World Affairs Council, the Dallas Business Journal, and it's just been great.
And I know mentorship is a real large part of Success North Dallas. Jan, why don't you talk about that?
Yeah, we work with the universities, University of North Texas, and we'll mentor with their professional leadership organization up at the school there, and they will match up a student with 3.0. It's got to be it's a non-credited class, but they have to qualify. And then they are mentored with an individual from our organization or others who are in that arena or that space that the student is choosing to pursue. And it's a year-long commitment, And you get a chance to take kids from the backpack to the briefcase, because some of these students at school don't know how to handshake. They don't know what the world is. They're used to going to school. And so the mentorship program gives them that opportunity to get involved with the organization that they are, or area that they want to be involved with. If you were a mentor, they'd probably shadow you in your, how do you do a radio show?
Mm-hmm.
How do you do what you do? And you get a real live experience doing that. So it's been very valuable. And we all need mentors. We all have mentors. I have mentors. Bill has several. I have several. And we also like to mentee.
We've only got like a minute left in this segment. So, Bill, let's get the website one more time and how people can get involved. Are you looking for sponsorship? Tell me how we can help you.
We absolutely are looking for sponsorships as we go on. We're looking for companies that wish to align with us financially, that want to take their companies to the next level. One of our great companies, Moss Adams, it's a CPA firm that just moved in from the West Coast, largest CPA firm on the West Coast. They came to us as a partner member. Another great MCG, Tom Montgomery, they are partner members with us. HH Architects, DBJ, Dallas Business Journal, Cancer Treatment Centers of America. And this is a great, the CEO, COO, Chief Medical Officer, and two of their presidents are all flying in to speak in March.
Wow.
And they'll be following the Dallas Community Police Awards Officer of the Year in February, of which Attorney General Ken Paxton is slated to come up and present.
Wow, this
So
is
great
just
meeting.
go to the website, sign up for the email list, take a look at what we are. If it looks good to you, reach out.
That's awesome. What a great segment. SuccessNorthDallas.com. When we come back on the Jeff Crilley Show, a woman who is changing the way you book a babysitter, an entrepreneur who's decided to bring the ease back to the babysitting world.
You're listening to The Jeff Crilley Show on Talk Radio 1190.